listening to the Dr. No Show on WHITradio.org. Welcome, everybody. The Dr. No Show, the Morning Buzz with Brandon Barris and me, Mr. P. And Brandon, what's our top stories for today?
A man now in custody has implicated himself in the 1979 disappearance of 6-year-old Etten Patz, Commissioner Ray Kelly of the New York Police Department said Thursday. After repeatedly pinning the president for the unemployment level, which now sits at 8.1%, Mitt Romney pledged he could cut the rate by 2 points if he makes it to the White House. A Pakistani doctor accused of helping the CIA track down Osama bin Laden was sentenced Wednesday to 33 years in prison for treason, officials told CNN. Now, yesterday, American Idol was on. It wasn't just any American Idol. It was the finals between Jessica Sanchez and Philip Phillips. And Mr. P, since you're such a big fan of American Idol, why don't you tell everybody what kind of happened yesterday?
Well, I don't know if I'm a very big fan, but I enjoy watching it. Obviously, this guy got, I think there was 132 million people that voted. He got the most votes. He's a pretty versatile kind of performer. He can play the guitar. He can sing. He's very talented, and he also is very appealing. And the judges might have had something to do with it, because the night before, which I didn't watch, which for some reason I forget that the last show is Tuesday and Wednesday, not Wednesday and Thursday, they panned Jessica Sanchez's last song, so that might have had something to do with it. But I felt heartbroken for her. But the people spoke, and they probably got it right. So Philip Phillips, congratulations.
Right. I don't think it's the end for Jessica Sanchez.
No,
I think she'll still probably get people looking at her, and different contract offers, and she's probably gonna go somewhere with her singing, because just because she lost doesn't mean that she's bad or that she's totally done. I think this is just, the beginning for her. And she's so young. What is she, Mr. P? 16, 17?
16.
16 years old. That's amazing.
She's got
but
her whole life ahead of her, and I think she's going to do great things.
Right. And also another finale that happened was Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
Donald Driver, the football player for the Packers, won with Peta Murgatroyd. So Donald Driver is the 2012 Dancing with the Stars champion.
Excellent.
Today in history, in 1883, the Brooklyn Bridge linking Manhattan and Brooklyn in the New York City opened to traffic.
Right.
So that's how the Brooklyn Bridge opened today to traffic. Today's birthdays, it is Bob Dylan's birthday today. He's an American singer and composer. Dylan learned the guitar at just the age of 10. He was influenced by Elvis Presley, Hank Williams, Led Belly. He wrote songs like Blowing in the Wind, Love the Thief, Time Out of Mind. So, Mr. P, Bob Dylan was a really great singer and composer.
Influential beyond belief, really. Number 2 in the all-time great singers, according to Rolling Stone, a great artist. His influences touched so many different people. And Jimi Hendrix, one I can think of, the Byrds, so many artists have been influenced by him, and he still continues to pump it out. I mean, he's still playing now, and he's 71, and he's still touring, and some of his albums are classics. Some of his songs, Blowing in the Wind, Lay Lady Lay, Maggie's Farm, just to mention a few, are with us today. They're classics. So happy birthday, Bob Dylan.
Yes, happy birthday, Bob Dylan. And a series we've been doing here on WHIT Radio for the past few weeks that we're kind of being known for now is the Presidents of the United States.
Right.
And today we're doing Stephen Grover Cleveland. He was the 22nd and 24th President of the United States. Cleveland is the only president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms from 1885 to 1889 and 1893 to 1897, and therefore is the only individual to be counted twice in the numbering of the presidents. He was the winner of the popular vote for president 3 times in 1884, 1888, and 1892, and was the only Democrat elected to the president in era of the Republican political denomination that lasted from 1861 to 1913.
Yeah.
And
Well, he was the only president elected 2 different times.
right,
He had a 4-year hiatus between both of them, and kind of he ushered in the 20th century. I think his last time he was president was 1896. So,
right.
you know, he goes down. I think that's what he goes down as we will remember him by. He served 2 terms, and 1897 was his last time. It was the golden age of ragtime in the 90s, 1890s. Country was in a boom time. John Philip Sousa and the marching bands and the picnics. That was the time in the 1890s.
Right. And another series that we're just starting here on WHOT Radio is the Country of the Day. Yesterday, we did India. Today, we're going to do China. And China is the world's most populous country with a population of over 1.3 billion. The East Asian state covers approximately 9.6 million square kilometers and is the world's second largest country by land area and the third or fourth largest in total area, depending on the definition of total area. So, Mr. P, I think China's pretty big.
Big and populous.
Right. I think, there must be a lot of people that live there and a lot of land over there.
Yeah.
And we were talking about yesterday how there's a few countries that you go to and it's kind of like a different world, and I think China's one of them.
Oh, yeah. Different culture, different world, different way of looking at life, whole different system.
Right.
As we're seeing the pictures now, different architecture.
Right, exactly. And I think, China is somewhat different to kind of every country. It has kind of like a different feeling to it.
Well, yeah. I haven't been there, but it definitely has a different feeling, different type of government, different everything.
Right.
So, Great Wall of China, which we're watching now, and it's been around for millions, thousands and thousands of years. It's an ancient culture. It's communistic at this point, and but they are entering into the modern age. I mean, they're starting to be capitalists, and they are an economic force, and they will be in the future. They will be the economic force. They supposedly own maybe 20% of the United States real estate, so we're in pretty big debt to them also. They own a lot of our debt, so China is here to stay.
Right. Well, yesterday, the 2012 NBA playoffs continued on with the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers. The Philadelphia 76ers winning 82-75. And for Boston, the only 2 players that were in double scoring fingers were Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. And Mr. P, I think if you want to win games, you can't just have two players out of your starting lineup and also your whole team just score two players in double figures.
You need a third scorer. So it's problems with the Knicks. They had one major scorer in Carmelo Anthony, and the rest of them watched them throw the ball in the basket or tried to throw the ball in the basket. So it usually doesn't work. When you get more people involved in the offense, your offense scores more and it runs better.
Yeah, the other 2 players that would be scoring a double figures is Rajon Rondo and Ray Allen. They both only had 9 points. And with Rajon Rondo, he has so many assists, actually has a ton of rebounds also as a point guard. His points are fairly well. I think he scores about maybe 15 to 17 point mark. So, I mean, the Boston Celtics kind of are a little bit of in a hole now, going down in the series. But, we'll see. We'll see how things pan out.
Right.
Game today, Indiana versus Miami at 8 o'clock, Game 6.
Indiana has to win or they're out,
Yes,
right?
Indiana does have to win. I think that Danny Granger and Roy Hibbert kind of have to carry the team on their shoulders tonight. Roy Hibbert being such a shot blocker and such a presence down on the block, and Danny Granger being such a great scorer. I think I don't think Indiana is out of it. I think they do have a chance to win today, but Miami is so strong, it's kind of hard to beat them.
Right.
And
the Devils won, right?
yeah, the Devils won yesterday 5-3.
Even though Brandon told us it was Game 7 yesterday.
Yeah, it was a typo on Yahoo. You can complain to them.
All right, Yahoo.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it was not Game 7 yesterday. It was actually Game 5, and the Rangers lost 5-3. So the Devils lead that series 3-2. Game 6 will be at the Prudential Center tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So the Rangers have kind of got themselves in a little bit of a hole. They kind of have to win on Saturday. So
I would say so.
Yeah.
Say so.
The Mets won yesterday 3-1. They took 2 out of 3 from the Pirates.
Yeah.
Great job, Mets.
Good go, Mets.
Mets start a 4-game series tonight against the Padres at 7:10. The Yanks beat Kansas City yesterday 8-3. The Yanks take 2 out of 3 from the Royals as well. And the Yanks head out to Oakland on Friday. Game at 10:05 to start a weekend series in Oakland. And Mr. P,
Who Mets play this weekend?
The Mets play the Padres.
Okay.
So the Mets will be playing the Padres. Hopefully they can.
Are they home?
They are home.
Okay.
They are home against the Padres. The Mets record right now 24-20. They're third in the NL East.
Mm-hmm.
So the Mets, they're looking pretty good. They're looking better than what everybody expected them.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can keep at this pace. But with the Mets, anything is possible. They can hit a downfall so quickly, and everything could just change for the worse. But the surprising part in the NL East standings is Washington is still in first place with 26-18.
Yeah.
And Washington has been such a bad team these past few years, and this year they really are. They're kind of unbeatable in a way. They're 26-18. They've beat the Mets plenty of time. They beat the Atlanta Braves, Miami Marlins. They're doing really good this year.
The monster team this year is the Dodgers, though. They're 30-13 or something like that. They're really almost playing 700 ball. So they have opened quite a lead over. I think the Giants are second in the Western Division. But
the Dodgers
by
are
7 games or something.
Yeah,
so
the Dodgers are 30-14, and San Fran is 23-21.
They've got new ownership. They've got Don Mattingly as the manager. So. Boom times for Dodger Town.
Yeah, I think, but I don't think the Dodgers were ever kind of bad these past few years. I think they
have
pretty
been
good.
Pretty bad. They haven't made the playoffs in a couple of years. They haven't won a World Series. I don't know in maybe 20 years or so. So they've got new ownership, Magic Johnson, and new manager. Well, he came in last year, so things are looking up for them.
Right, and the teams that are not looking good are the Miami Marlins, who were supposed to be, this great team coming into this year with Jose Reyes and a bunch of players coming in. And would you look at that? They're tied with the Mets in third.
Yeah, they're not awful. I mean, the lineup's okay. It's nothing. I watched a game or so. There's nothing exciting about their lineup.
I don't think there's anything exciting, but I think that so many people have put a hype to them.
Right.
And
new stadium. And, and beautiful new stadium. Yeah,
it is a beautiful stadium. And the Angels, with Mr. Albert Pujols, who only has 4 home runs, they're 20-25, fourth in the AL East, and fourth in the AL West. And that's another team that a lot of fans and a lot of analysts expected to do well, and they're in last place.
Yeah. So Pujols is really struggling. At least he's starting to hit some home runs. I don't think he hit any home runs in April.
Yeah.
And he's got 4, which he had none up till a couple of weeks ago. So maybe he's starting to come around a bit, and they really need him. And they're kind of wed to him for 10 years. So I hope he does produce for their sake.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's our show for today here on WHITradio.org. You can catch us every day of the week here with me and Mr. P. Keep it locked here on WHITradio.org.